Welcome to the circus. Like, share, comment, subscribe.
Well, it's been a while since I've shown a model. This is my latest creation. I don't have a name for it yet. It's not really quite done yet either. As you can see, it is another version of the Tom Daniels Sidewinder, which originally this was the Rattler, but originally it was the Horned Toad. In any case, this is my latest take on the Sidewinder. Not my best effort, but it is what it is. The few things that I did to change it, I cut off the front end. I didn't like the snoot that they had on there. Never liked the tongue, so that was not going to be, that's not even on the other version I built. I moved the engine, as you can tell. Originally, this was going to be like a vehicle with a weapon in front and all this other stuff. And that's what was going to go in where the engine compartment was. But once I started putting it in, that really looks kind of silly. And it's also in the way of the driver's vision and such. So I decided not to go that direction. So among other things, originally this was going to be camouflaged. So I had to strip all that, repaint it, several coats of paint on here to hide all sorts of issues that I had with it. Trying to figure out how to cover the engine compartment, I finally just decided I'm just going to bend a piece of evergreen plastic and make something to cover it. I'm thinking about adding hinges to it to make it look like it is some kind of hood that can be opened, with the idea that like the fuel tank, the battery, and everything else is inside here now, because, well, the engine is in back. And that was the one thing that I really was certain of. I wanted to put the engine in back because I figured it would fit, and it does. One of the things I had to do with the engine was reverse the direction of the exhaust pipes. So now, and that was real easy to do. It'll fit either way. So I just flipped it so that they're facing upwards instead of downwards, which kind of adds a nice sweep to it. These were aftermarket tracks that I've had. I used similar ones on the Patton's pickup. And what I did was I had to move the back axle. So the back axle is actually where the shock absorbers attach to the body. And then I built a frame around the bottom here. Let's see if I can show that. I'm going to take off the top because the top can come off right now. So I changed the bottom a little bit. As you can see, I closed up the where the hole for the engine, and then I just built a cover for where all the stuff would be for the tracks and everything, and added some pipes and stuff like that. So this would be like the fuel line going into the engine, things of that nature from the back. I kept the copper. I like the copper. I know a lot of people don't. I cut down the top of the vehicle. Didn't like this anyway. I've yet to build a Sidewinder straight out of the box. I've got one more, so I still have that opportunity. As you can see, the window is canted back a little bit. I don't like it facing forward a little, which is the way it appears to be here. So I always bend it back a little bit, and by doing that, I think it gives a nice rakish look to it. I haven't glued this on yet, simply because I haven't quite finished. I want to get some kind of a sunroof built for this, and that will require me getting something like some either purple acetate or a green acetate or some kind of acetate to put in this area here. And once I get that done, then I will go ahead and finish putting the whole thing together. But I do like that top on there. I think it looks kind of cool. Also, the way that it just covers the seat area. This I find very bulky and not nearly as interesting. Also, this, if I put this on there, then the windscreen will lean forward a little bit, which is kind of odd to me. One of these days, maybe I will build a Sidewinder straight out of the box. I don't know. As you can also tell, I removed all the louvers up front here, and I kept them on the side, but I didn't like them up here, so I just took them all off. It really didn't work, especially once I cut the front end down a little bit. So that's why the louvers are missing on the top. This is one of the first times I've ever done something like that too. So a lot of these were firsts for me. I did things that I normally do not do. So there's a lot of experimenting going on with this one. But it was a lot of fun. One of the things that took so long on this was just the fact that I really wasn't happy with the direction it was going. And so it kind of sat on the bench forever. Plus a lot of other things were going on in my life. So this kept taking a back seat. Speaking of the seat, I did have to fill in the back here. And I basically just used, where's it at? Okay, can't find it, but I used some Milliput to fill in the back a little bit, to thicken the back, and then I also used some Mr. White Putty to add a little more contour to the back seat and everything in there. The engine compartment was painted all black to kind of hide some stuff. You do see, well, I don't think you can really see it in there. Let me take this off. Yeah, maybe you can. There is a copper line that is running across the bottom there, and that is coming from the transmission over to the other side here. You might be able to see it sticking through on the bottom and then into the back axle. That's kind of a line that I just kind of said, well, I got to find a way to get power to the other side, and that's what I did for that. And that was actually just stretch sprue and stuff like that to do that. So that's what it is. I've used one decal from the kit. That was one of the Sidewinder snakes. I put that on the hood. Otherwise, it's what you see. Like I said, not my best effort, but I still like it. And I like it for a number of reasons. Mainly, there are several things on this kit that I did that I have never done before. So it was a good learning experience for me, I guess. Anyway, hope you like it. If nothing else, maybe it will be an inspiration for some other people. I know there's plenty of people who could make a better roof for this than I could, because I've seen them out there. And I know there's plenty of people who could have cut that front better than me. But still, nothing else. It's an interesting idea. I'll put it that way. Anyway, stick around for some slides.
Thank you for visiting Toby's Glue Bomber Circus. If you liked what you saw, please consider giving it a thumbs up, sharing it with your friends, leaving a comment, and subscribe and ring that notification bell. Really do appreciate it. Thanks again.